Hello, I'm your host, John Cavendish, and welcome to Season 5 of the Amazon Strategy Show. The show that's all strategy with no hacks, no silver bullets, and no magic pills, just real practical strategies to grow your Amazon business. Today, I am joined by Jakob Wolitzki of DataDoe. Jacob's a friend of the show. He has been with us so many times, I don't know, at least 3 times so far. This is definitely at least the 3rd. And he is now co-founder of DataDoe, and previously, which he's still co-founder of, the Amazon software agency DataLogic. He spent years building on Amazon's SPI and Ads API, focusing on making sales, Amazon sellers' data even more available. And with the latest iteration, with all the tools, with Claude, with ChatGPT, their business now focuses on getting you to pull that data out so you can use it with the LLMs. Jakob, how are you doing?
Hello. Doing great, and thanks for having me, John. Again, I just checked, and yeah, the last episode we had actually around 9 to 10 months ago, so pretty good update now.
Yeah, because 9 to 10 months in the modern world is, 3 companies later.
Yeah, definitely.
Exits, I mean, maybe no exits right now. Not many people are exiting.
It's harder.
Yeah, right now, anyway, with everything changing. So I know DataDoe has pivoted a couple of times, and I really love the latest angle because, I'm using the LLMs all the time now, and I'm just a noob, really, when it comes to coding, but I built some software, and it works, and I'm so surprised. So what gave you the idea of this being the latest iteration of the business? Because, it's something that I find super useful. How did you come up with helping sellers extract their data for LLMs?
Yeah, so just very shortly, going back 1 year ago when we launched DataDoe, we had a little bit different vision. There were tons of bets back in the days, like, okay, what will be the next big thing? Our bet was that we'll build an app where sellers will be able to pretty much have like the AI assistant inside the app. So we've built the whole data layer around it. Then we've built the actual agent. Seller could connect their Amazon accounts, talk to their account, get the recommendations, what should they optimize. If there was some campaigns burning budgets, they would also get the information about that. And then we've been building tons of features around that. But pretty much it was just another app. You had to log in there and stick there and use it. And over time, basically, we realized that we are constantly fighting with the top LLM companies in the world when it comes to like this AI chat assistant. Of course, we are using their APIs, but in order to make it feel really great and fast, we just felt that we are always falling behind, and also the AI was losing context. Sometimes it was hallucinating too much, so we are getting a lot of feedback regarding this, and we are spending tons of budget to really improve it. And at some point we just said, all right, I think this might not be the best direction for us. So we kind of paused it. We are working in there, maintaining it. Then I started using Claude Code every single day, and I've started playing around with MCPs, APIs, connecting it all together, and it really made me think. I remember one day I just been doing another session in the Claude Code, and I realized that for a whole day I didn't open any app. I was literally just in the Claude. I was like, here I had Claude Code, here I had just Claude Chat, and I had connected Slack, Fireflies, Amazon, Gmail, and tons of other tools. And I was getting all of the data, planning next steps, making the strategy, just the things that I would do in a different tabs before. And then it really clicked for me that it might be actually really a future for everyone, that the SaaS applications will change. The interface no longer will be really valid. The new interface will be really like the MCP to those big LLMs. And we decided to really go this direction. take this bet, because eventually this is really a bet. There are a couple of companies that also went this direction, and it just clicked. So we deleted all of the functionality about our own AI agent. We just improved the data layer, and we released MCP to Claude and to Chat, which meant that Amazon sellers could work with their Amazon data directly in the chat. And it really clicked, and we grew like crazy over the last 2 months. So that was pretty much like, why we did that, and what was the idea behind it.
I love it. So what type of data, Amazon, when you say Amazon data, how does that actually work? Like, how does it access it? What's the time frame? And like what, I guess some other questions following up from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. So what we do is we have this data layer. Therefore, it means that every Amazon seller that logs into DataDoe right now, there are just a few things that they can do in the interface, and one of them is authorize their Amazon account. If it's just one marketplace, one account, then it's like this. But some of the brands, of course, they sell across multiple marketplaces, maybe 10. So they can also do that there, connect 10 of their marketplaces. And once they are connected, both the Seller Central and the advertisement, it also works with vendors, we start pulling the initial load. So we are getting all of the data that is available through those APIs. So just for the people watching, Amazon is actually limiting the access to the data you can get back from your Amazon. So if you never had any SOPs to gather it manually through the report section or any other tool that is pulling it, you actually lost this data. So we also do that there. So we are gathering the data every single day. I would say at this point we cover more than 95% of the everything that's available amongst those APIs. We have our own transition layer that actually really cleans the data. This makes the descriptions the best for the AI, and therefore, once you plug it through the MCP to Claude, which is like one click, really, the Claude or ChatGPT or another LLM answers within a seconds compared to what we had previously 1 year ago. It took us like sometimes 1 or 2 minutes for some prompts, and here's like direct response. And
how much context can these models take in at once? Like, how much of this data can they hold, I guess, as reference, or how much? Yeah, how much do I need to ask, and what model do I need to be able to get enough context to make a useful thing? You know, because they don't want it to just read the last few days and hallucinate.
Oh yeah, no, like for sure, like and like I would say when it comes to this, anything that is right now out there for like the best practices working with the LLMs is pretty much the same as it would be here. So there are plenty of different models, plenty of different plans. For example, I'm using Claude Max plan, right? So I have like 1 million context for each conversation, I think. So for this one, of course, this is more than enough. And this would be just the case for like, if you want to really build like skills or your own tools through the DataDoe MCP or API. But for very quick and easy answers, I would say the base $20 plan a month is more than enough if you're not really like building anything serious, I would say, like your own system with your own automation. So we are monitoring it. We are talking with our customers, we are checking, and so far, those models are working really great, and you can easily analyze your whole business within a few prompts and your own like additional context about like how you run your brand, and this will be sufficient.
But it's 1 million context. Is that just 1 million characters? I thought it was.
No, those are like those tokens, right? So I'm not like 100% sure how like Claude or OpenAI, so Anthropic or OpenAI, they like calculate it. I just, I'm talking about the context in the bottom right, that what you see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm always concerned about that.
But
I forget the start of the conversation. That was really annoying.
Yeah, but I think very important thing to mention here is that, and I think this would also answer your question, that if you would upload like a huge Excel file right now to the chat, then it would start hallucinate, and it would may not have the enough of the context, right? So we still have the same principles that we had in the past with the data. So once you make a prompt about like your last month's number, we are not looking at the whole data set of everything. We are actually translating this prompt to SQL and only retrieving the certain data points. So the context is actually staying as low as possible, and you're only really getting what you need to further analyze like what you are currently working on.
Cool. So if someone listening signed up for DataDoe, what would be the most useful kind of set of prompts that they could do to analyze their business to start? What would be the most interesting questions that you've seen people ask using the data sets that you dataset?
Yeah, so I think because right now DataDoe has also quite new feature that right now is really being used by tons of the users, which is the write access. So like since like for the last few months, we've been only focusing on a read access, right? So you could pretty much get information about your profit and loss, about your ads, about your campaigns, keywords, orders, like really anything. So you could pretty much build a whole dashboard with every possible category to really have like a full helicopter view on your business. But of course, if you just get the data, if you just do the analysis, you are not going to really scale your brand. You really need to take the action. So we actually decided to also develop the feature where you can modify certain things on the Amazon. So